Hello, welcome back to episode 9, I think. If not, it'll be in the title, whatever episode we are at. But welcome back to episode 9, or part 9 of my F1 22 My Team Career Mode. And as you just saw, we chose the activities for the week, upgraded one facility, and now I'm just changing my opponents. Not opponents, my... What is it called? Components. There we go. My components to my car to have the worst versions for the practice sessions so I don't damage my good ones. And we just advanced through the week. Now we're going to the race weekend. And as you saw, it is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which is the final race of the season. So, yeah, and there's not really much of a title decider. And as you saw, we finished FP1 and FP2, but then our MGUH broke. So I'm going to have to get a new one, which will result in a grid drop penalty. So, yeah. And that's sad because it's our last race of the season and we have to get a new engine component. If I knew, I would have taken it earlier, so at least we could end off good and not with a penalty. And now I just go to my final FP3 session. As you see, that's what me and Oscar Piastri got from our practice sessions, some R&Ds and some development boosts for the cylinder head and another cylinder head, which those are both the powertrain. And then there's the Acclaim. I'm 13, he's 10, the team is 16. So yeah, this is the last race of the season, so let's hope we have a good last race. My gearbox and it's heavily damaged, so I change basically everything for the good parts. So I changed my MGUK, my energy store, turbocharger, control electronics, and then of course the gearbox. I hate misshifting, or like in the game when the gearbox is so damaged that the car just goes to like weird gears and then the shifting doesn't work. So I make an upgrade in my aerodynamics, which is the wing flaps, and it's just a minor upgrade. Now I go on to this qualifying session. And just some shots of Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates. I'm pretty sure that's the country. And there's the team, just, I guess, I don't know. And I go soft, and then I already had a setup, so I didn't need to make one. So, woohoo, you won't get to see me make my setup, but you can just get it online. That's what I did. And now I'm starting my qualifying lap. Now just not talk, you can watch the lap. There we go. That is the qualifying session over. and I land P22. So that's pretty bad, because that is last place basically. And then there's the results. Checo is pole position, followed by Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. So pretty good lineup for the front grid tomorrow's race. And Oscar Piastri, my teammate, is P20. And there's my rivalry with George Russell. He beat me on the qualifying, but I'm still above him by 3 points. And then there's the team breakdown. I'm still level 13. Piastri's still 10, and the team's still 16, so nothing different. And now we just check the message with Mark, and we just go on to the next session. Now I'll let Ted Crofty or Martin Brundle talk about Abu Dhabi.
Controversies and rivalries lies in our wake, and just one challenge remains here in the United Arab Emirates on a circuit that made its spectacular debut back in 2009. Welcome to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The Yas Marina circuit is made up of 3.28 miles of track, featuring 16 corners with 2 very long straights. DRS zones going into the heavy braking zones of both turn 5 and turn 7 offer plenty of potential for overtaking. The circuit comes with its fair share of tricky corners, which will certainly test a driver's braking management. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Bottas and Carlos Sainz. They've taken a grid penalty. Albon, Norris, Lance Stroll and Joe, Ocon, Vettel, Oscar Piastri and Nicholas Latifi. Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Magnussen, Tsunoda and Hughes. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So here we go then with the formation lap right here in Abu Dhabi. Around 50,000 spectators are all in the stands today, all hoping to see some fantastic racing. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
Now that's the formation lap over, and it's lights out and away we go. And now away we go. I activate my ERS, I get a nice start, but Tsunoda just cuts right in front of me. I go right side by side, and I overtake a bunch of people actually. I overtook Latifi, Piastri, Magnussen, and Tsunoda, but Vettel came in front of me, and there's Latifi to my left, and he went in front of me. Going into this turn, I overtake Latifi again, but Gasly tries to send one down on the inside, and it doesn't stick, so now we're on this straight. I activate my ERS, and I'm in the slipstream of Alcon right now, but in my slipstream is Pierre Gasly. I go down the inside of Alcon, and then there's Stroll in front of me. And it's yellow flags right now. We went a little slow. And I think Alcon has some damage because I think he hit my side pause or something when going into that turn. But I do make the move on Alcon, and it sticks. Now we have Lance Stroll in front of me in the Aston Martin, of course. And yeah, so pretty good start from P22 to P16. I'd say that's a nice start, moving up 6 positions. And there's some fighting between Albon and Vettel, which opens the door for me and Stroll. And then I got a track limits warning right there. I nearly got another one right there. And yeah, now that's done with the first lap. So I'm still behind Stroll, and we have yellow flags ahead. And that is Lewis Hamilton out of the session. He's right there to my right, and I got another exceeding track limit. And yeah, that is not enough to bring on a safety car, a virtual safety car. So we're still racing. I go into this turn, and I'm still behind Lance Stroll, and I activate my ERS. But even he's on... Oh wait, never mind. I was gonna say he's pulling away, but he's not. I'm catching up to him. And I send one down the inside, and the move sticks. I try to overtake Albon right here in the Williams, and it sticks too. But his straight line, or not, and he tucks in behind me to get into my slipstream. But then there's 2 cars to the right side, and the move didn't stick for them. So now we have the other Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel right in front of me. Almost done with lap 2. And then Lance Stroll does take Albon, but right now they're just squabbling for P14 right now. And then Checo sets the fastest lap of a 126.861. Now we're done with the second lap, and we have Vettel in front of us. And he's on the softs, I'm on the softs, and Albon's on the softs. And then that lap there was no action, so for lap number 3 we set a 128.945, which is currently my fastest lap. And no action for lap 4, so we set a 129.569. And we see we have Zhou Guan Yu, or never mind, in that lap 5 there was nothing, so 129.633. And then there's my team, or Mark, telling me that the pit window is now open. So at the end of this lap, I will go into the pits for a set of mediums. We have P11, we have Zhou Guan Yu on mediums in the Alfa Romeo. P12 is Sebastian Vettel. On softs in the Aston Martin, we have me. I'm on softs, about to go hop into the pits. P14 is Alex Albon in the Williams, and P15 is Lance Stroll on mediums, for the Aston Martin, of course. Then Albon's on softs, if I didn't say. But up ahead, we have caught up to the cars in front. I think it's because there is a DRS train. Starting with, I think Fernando Alonso, and then I don't know who actually, but then a Haas, and then the 2 Alphas, and then Sebastian, and then me. So I think they're going a little slow, which gives me a chance to catch up to them. But the gap is still almost 3 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. And the gap to me and Albon is 2 seconds, but he's quickly gaining time on me. Yeah, we could see Vettel in front of us. So now Vettel's going to pit, I'm going into the pits. Yeah, let's see if we get any positions. As well, we have Bottas in the pits, Daniel Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso in the pits. Yeah, a bunch of people are pitting right now. We have Albon in the pits, Gasly's in the pits, Magnussen. So the pit stop was a good pit stop because we are now right behind Vettel, where when we came in we weren't right behind him. So by the time we get back onto the track, we end up P18. But as you can see, he is pulling away from us. But I go into this turn, and I don't make any move on Vettel so far. And then since I am under 1 second behind him, I do get DRS from him. I use my ERS. I'm also in his slipstream to see if there's enough to make a move into this turn. And I send one down the inside. Sebastian Vettel, I think he did lock up a little because he did run wide. But I do make the move. I am P17 now. I use my ERS to try to pull away a little, but he's in my DRS range now. Going into this turn. P19 we have Albon, P16 is Bottas, and P15 is Fernando Alonso. And then we're going, almost done with lap 7. Sebastian Vettel is only 0.2 seconds away behind me, so he can make a move at any time. We're going on. This lap was a... what was this lap? It's a 147, and we have a bunch of people in the pits right now. We have Ocon, Sonoda, Mick Schumacher in the pits. Yeah, we jump a couple people that pitted on this lap instead of the other lap. So now we're P15, and we have Mick in front of us in the Haas, of course. So yeah, so Bottas did jump Mick while he was in the pits. And now I'm P15, like I said before. I go into defensive position because Vettel tries to make a move. Let's see if I could get that spot back. But no, I just let him take P16, but I am right up his gearbox. And now I should get DRS from Vettel. But he's still pulling away, even though I have DRS and on his slipstream. So I just tuck in behind him and try to make a move on the next lap. I run wide, as you can see. I'm not on the racing line. Yeah. Now we have Albon behind us with Magnussen behind him. Now we're going into this final sector of the lap. Of lap 8 out of 15. And now Oscar Piastri is in the pits now. That's what Mark is telling me. So I'm obviously going to jump him. And Latifi is pitting right now. And Piastri and Stroll and Zhou Guanyu. And so basically all the medium runners in the first stint is now hopping into the pits on lap 9. And they're pitting for hards. Like, why? They should have pit for softs. That's what I would have done. I don't know why they pitted for hards. But I tried to make a move, as you can see. But I just ran wide. And yeah. So I get DRS from Vettel now, and I'm also in his slipstream. I'm gaining some time, but let's see if it's enough to make a move. And no, maybe. I follow his car around the outside, and then it changes back onto the inside of that turn. And then the move does work. I am in P12 now with Zhou Guanyu in front of me, and he's on hards, so he's one of the medium stint runners. Now Vettel tried to make a move on the outside, but it didn't stick. So yeah, so Zhou was on mediums for his first stint. Now he's on hards, so I should be able to catch up with him since I am on the faster tires. Just they're a little old, and Max Verstappen just set the fastest lap of the race. So yeah, as you can see, the time is going down between me and Zhou. Obviously, I think it's the tires. But yeah, he's P11, I'm P12. And then we're going. Vettel's still below 1 second, so he'll be in my DRS range for the next straight. And we still have Albon P14 and Mick is P10. So it looks like I don't think we're gonna score some points this race, but it's okay. Just make a comeback for next season. Yeah, this season's just the first season of being a team. Next season is where it's gonna at. It's our rebuilding time now. Yep. Now I'm awfully close. I'm in Joe's DRS range now. Activate my DRS, but the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel just has more straight line speed than me, so he does overtake us. And I do run wide into that turn, so now I'm P13. And P15 is Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. So I'm just going to try to stay behind Vettel as close as I can so I can get DRS on the next straight. Yeah, I tried to make a move on the inside. Probably not the best place to make a move there. Yeah, obviously didn't stick and I just lost a bunch of time. But yeah, I ran a little wide on that turn. I had to take the escape or whatever, the tarmac outside the edge. Yeah. And then there's Mark just telling me, man. And then I run wide on that turn too, so I had to take the... What is it called? It's not the escape road. It's like I just call it the tarmac on the side, but I just lost a bunch of time. As you can see, I'm still in Vettel's DRS range. So I activate my DRS on this main straight, and I just stay behind him. So I try to get into a slipstream, but he's pulling away. Even I have DRS. So yeah, and then there's Vettel trying to make a move on Zhou Guanyu, but that just loses time for the both of them. So now I'm back into the fight with Zhou and Vettel for P11. So I activate my DRS. I just tuck in their slipstream. Let's see if I can make a move. And no, I can't. And then I'm also wide on that turn. It looks like there was a yellow flag in front of us, but not anymore. It's green flags again. There's Vettel and Zhou still trying to fight, and I overtake Zhou for P12 on that turn because he just lost a bunch of time to Vettel. And now I'm behind Vettel again, trying to make a move. Yeah, we're done with lap 11. I'm still just P12. I stuck in behind Sebastian Vettel, and that lap was a 128.699. And yeah, I run wide again on that first turn, so I just lose some more time to Vettel. And yeah, now we're going into this turn, and I am within Vettel's DRS range, so I'm gonna get DRS from him. I activate it, and then I just stay in his slipstream, but again, his pace is way better than mine, so he is pulling away. But the gap is now coming down, so I know, am I close enough to make a move? I go, no, it is not close enough. I do get DRS again on this straight. This time I am catching up to him. He's not pulling away from me this time. I'm gonna make a move down the inside into this turn. And maybe there was a little damage or contact, I don't know for sure. And that was a good move, so P11. I am now in P11 on lap 12 of the race. In front of us we have Bottas in the Alfa Romeo, and P9 is Mick Schumacher in the Haas. So that's points for both of them, which is pretty good for their teams, but of course not us. P11, we get no points. Oscar, it's obviously not in the points. When is he ever going to be in the points? And that was my best lap so far, so for 128.372. In lap 13, there was no action, so that lap time was a 129.070, so I just skipped that lap. And then again, no action on lap 14, so that time was a 129.019. Now we are on the final lap of the race, and we're just gonna cruise along now. Hope we have a good last lap. So yeah, and it looks like Vettel went into the pits, probably because the damage I gave him when I did that overtake. So now it's Zhou Guanyu in behind me on the hards in the Alfa Romeo, which is surprising, and Alex Albon in the Williams on mediums. So yeah, I'm surprised Alex Albon didn't overtake him because Zhou's on hards, but maybe all the medium runners are now losing time, so maybe Zhou's hards were a good choice. And you can see I set a good sector 1. It's a green, not purples, of course. Not on the slowest car of the grid. We're never going to be setting purples. But yeah, I'm just cruising along, and I set a red sector too, so of course. And we have Checo Perez, or Sergio Perez, in the Red Bull, is the race winner of the 2022 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So he won the last race of this season. So there's the checkered flag. I'm just rounding the last couple of corners now. And it looks like we are going to take P11 in this race. Checkered flag, there it is. Last final lap of the season. There we go. Yep, Mark's just saying take care of the car, whatever. P11, no points, but it's okay. And I do get driver of the day, if I do say myself. I mean, from P22 to P11, that's pretty good. So yeah, no points. And it looks like Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen were P2 and P3. So that's 2 podium positions for Red Bull and 1 for Ferrari. Yeah, Lewis DNF'd. So I do move down in the driver standings. I end up P8. And what is Piastri? Piastri is P22. Like, why? And then for the team constructors, it is P5. So there's George Russell with the rivalry breakdown, and I am still above him by 2 points. So I do win this rivalry, but just barely. And there's me. I'm still level 13 in the claim. Piastri's 10, the team's 16. So that was a good final race of the season, but we'll come back next season and we get all of our money from our sponsors. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and get us to 130 subscribers.